I've also noticed it with Adriano. Like if we both eat a sandwich, I have like firstly my whole second slice is
Yes.
still left. I still have to pick up the second slice, and I'm finishing the first slice, and his whole sandwich is gone, gone. He's already ready to have a chat again, and I'm like, where the fuck did it go? Like, we actually had this chat the other day, right? So it was because I saw it on Instagram, and it was.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Everyday Shit with Georgie and myself,
How's it?
where we discuss everyday events, random topics, try and find the funny side in things, and hopefully in the process keep you entertained. How have you been, Georgie?
Good, good. Look at us in a little bit of a different setup
Setting,
today.
yeah. And a little bit earlier, and today's also a Heritage Day
It is,
or
yes.
National Braai Day.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you doing for National Braai Day?
I'm paddling, of course.
Okay. Well, I really can't think of anything better to do.
I'm actually running errands today. Like, okay,
Okay.
so I am paddling after this, but then I am away on Friday, for the weekend. So I'm not
Okay.
at work on Friday. So
Okay.
I'm taking today to do a little bit of work, and then also just like go to the shop and buy snacks for the road trip and like all of those things. Maybe pack my bag a little bit,
Okay.
all of those things, and then yeah, that's probably what I'm doing today.
So no braai.
No,
Okay. All right.
I'm not braaiing today. Also, I don't know how to braai.
Okay, but I thought you might be going to one where somebody
Mm-mm.
else will be. So you don't know how to braai.
I do not know how to braai. No,
Okay. All
no,
right.
I do know how to cook.
Okay.
It's not that I'm incompetent with food.
It's just.
There's just something about the braai that I feel like I never know when the meat is done. Like it's just not my forte.
It's a.
I
I
also
think.
don't know how to make a fire.
Okay. Both are quite easy to sort of like learn, I guess.
Mm.
So the making of the fire is quite straightforward. There's like a little bit of a technique to it, and once you get that down, it's like building Jenga almost.
Okay.
And
And I'm sure
then
once you're like successful once, you're just always gonna know.
yeah, I can also. It's really not that difficult. It's like a very straight. So it's like a thing of if I show you once, I think you'll be
Mm.
sorted because it's literally it's a very
But what
straightforward
I
setup.
absolutely love is that we've reserved braaiing for men.
Man, no, 100%. I do agree
You
that
can
should.
have it.
I do agree, but I'm thinking of more in a situation where you may be away with a ladies trip
Mm.
and you need to bride, but I doubt if you
Put
ladies go
something in the
away.
oven.
That's it. Probably the right way
No,
to
so I
go.
actually do have a couple of friends who do know how to braai.
Okay.
So
Always take them with.
I'd be fine there.
Okay.
But otherwise, no. I'm actually a little bit bummed that I didn't make like a bride day or something like that. But there's just too much going on.
Yeah,
So,
so the thing
are you
is,
briding today?
yes.
Mm.
Well, so firstly, we're going to a friend's place for a bride. I think just because it's National Bride Day and it's sort of like we also are Afrikaans,
Oh yeah,
so
it's a must.
very, very much a must do. But then also, Social Hub has got a little bride day thing. You pay like 100 rand, get in, and then I'm not 100% sure if it's like just a bride buffet,
I was gonna say I
whatever.
could just go crash someone else's.
Yeah,
So
well, there's another. I thought like as I said, I thought you might be, you and is it Adriano?
yeah.
I thought you might be going somewhere with him, Brian, or
So initially there would have been a plan in place, but because we are away on Friday, and it's
okay,
like this whole big thing for his racing.
okay,
He also decided to swap his days and to rather like just work today and get things done and whatever, and then we are then chilled on the Friday, being away from work, and no one has to take laptops or anything like that. It's just like then you can clock off sort of thing. So I was like, cool, I got a lot of things to do. You go work, we'll meet up afterwards. So I think everyone will be done early. So it's not to say that we maybe can't have a late one. But yeah, we just chose productivity for the day.
I was gonna say you both are being extremely productive today.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
which sometimes, as you say, short-term sacrifice for long-term goals.
Yeah, but also yesterday, I don't know what the hell happened to me, but I woke up for work. No, I woke up in the morning and I went to gym. Everything was fine. It was like 6:15 in the morning, all hunky dory. Get home, feel perfectly fine, whatever. All of a sudden, like 2 hours into work, I feel like I'm about to die. Like I'm starting to feel nauseous. I'm like I can't be upright, otherwise I'm sick. I couldn't eat a thing.
Sure.
I don't know what the hell went into like what happened to my body. And it's not what you're thinking.
Okay. No drinking.
Not drinking, not pregnancy. It's not those two.
Okay. I haven't thought about this
Oh,
second
did your
one.
mind go to drinking?
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
yeah, maybe like
Oh no, mine
hungover,
went to the
pregnant.
other one. Yeah. As
Okay.
a female, it could be very many things, but
Yes,
as
yes,
soon
yes.
as you're sick, your mind goes there.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's not that for sure. But John, I just don't know. So by 7 o'clock last night, I actually only at about 6:30 managed to put like the first meal down. And eventually I was like, you know what? I'm actually just gonna. I was sleeping. I think probably sleeping by 8:30 last night.
Okay.
And I was like, nope, I need to try and wake up fresh. I got paddle, I got this, things like that. So
And how are you feeling today?
this morning, like when you wake up in the morning and you're like, you just move a little bit and you're like, is it fine? Am I fine? But no, I feel hundreds today.
Okay.
So I don't know what the hell. I don't know if maybe the day before, because the day before we did eat out. So I don't know if it also maybe didn't like sit with me correctly. But I was scared.
Okay.
I was very scared. Because if it was food poisoning or a bug or something, I was going to then be man down for like at least 48 hours or at least 24. So,
Okay.
but I'm feeling good. So
Okay. And obviously this weekend you went a bit of shopping for your house and things like
yes.
that. Did you
So
get anything cool?
I did. On Sunday, I went and bought like everything for the bathroom.
Okay.
So like sets of bath towels that match all the hand towels, and I got like all the soapy things and the dustbin and mats for the floor, and like I just had to get like all of that stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, I did get all of that, and then it morphed into me going to like other home stores and getting like I got something stupid like a display ball for all my keys, like when I walk in the house, And,
Okay. Which is a cool thing.
yeah, so I did get like a whole bunch of stuff. I got like basically all my kitchenware now. I think there's nothing left for me to buy for my kitchen except my fridge, which I've been holding off on purpose because I want them to deliver it to the new place.
Yes.
So I'm literally going to buy it like 3 days before, set the delivery date for whatever.
Yeah, great
and then
idea.
done. So I'd say the whole kitchen's done.
That's maybe another thing we should do for one of the podcasts is tips and tricks for moving, or like give people like because I'm sure there's a lot of people that might one day be listening that be the first time they move.
I am a walking tips and tricks for moving, and I'll tell you why. I had foreign parents. So it took them a very long time to get any sort of status in this, South African status in this country. So they didn't own their place when we were growing up. So we moved a lot, like every 2 years we moved house. I am 31. I think I've moved house 33 times.
Sure.
So when I tell you I'm an expert in moving, well, I'm self-certified expert in moving.
SME.
Yes. And recently, my cousin actually moved out, and she was like packing all of her boxes, like her clothing, in her room, and like just packing all the clothing. I was like, "What are you doing?" She was like, "I'm gonna pack it for my new house." I was like, "No ways!" Like what I do is I get someone in the new place to like clean like the whole first day, and then I literally go for, like from cupboard to cupboard, like take all of it off the hangers, on the flat on the boots in the back seat or whatever, straight into the next cupboard or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, I wasted so much time unpacking all my stuff. I was like, I'll just go from pile to pile, make sure the new cupboard's clean, take the pile, put it, little savvy
me
things.
And you are very similar in a lot of ways because that's exactly how I move.
Yeah,
I don't.
How does I pack all that stuff?
I literally have like maybe 6 boxes, and how it works is we fill those 6 boxes, we go to the new place, we unpack the 6 boxes, and we take those same 6 boxes back and fill it with more shit. And with the clothes, exactly, I start with one room. That room goes in the car, goes into the new room in the house, go back, get the second room house.
I think there's only like certain instances where you have to be packing that hard. And I mean, she moved from Malbarton to Glenvis to Maysdale, which like in perspective was like 5 kilometers,
Yeah.
If you're maybe moving 50, 60, 70 kilometers away, obviously that's a little bit of a non-savvy way.
Yes.
But even that, I think I would find a way to just house more clothing in more rooms clothing in like several cars or something. I don't know. Yes. But yeah, so I was like, no, there's no reason you need to be doing that. That's wild. Or like even like the kitchen stuff, like everything got wrapped in newspaper. So I was like, so when you got to your new place and unpacked this, every little fucking thing you own in your kitchen has to be rewashed. No, thank you. I'm not doing that. Like, so yeah, there's been little like savvy ways that I've learned over the years to do things. And then also the way we pack things.
Okay.
Like when my sister was once moving and her boyfriend packed her car, I was like, oh, shame, cute. I was like, no, you put like 3 things at the back here. Like we packed it all the way to the top. We packed like basically half our house in one car. And he was like, oh my God, how did you people do that? And I was like, experience.
Okay, you see, I might be like the boyfriend again, where I'm more like, I'd rather travel 20 times and have all my shit. Like I don't like stuff stacked and getting damaged. So I'm more like
They don't get damaged. We've just learned the
yeah,
Tetris, the car Tetris game.
Tetris tactic.
Yes,
We
100%.
call it Titina.
Yes,
The
the
Tetris
Tetris
tactic.
tactic. Yes.
For me, you see, because I've got that OCD and shit, like I always like I look at everything and I'm like, can't do that because it'll damage that. Can't do
That's
like,
my problem. And even if I hire movers, I'm going to be behind the mover the whole
yeah,
time like this. What you doing with that? How you packing that? Remember, it says fragile. Like,
yeah.
and then I'm just like, you know what? Just don't even embark in that. And I, this time, really don't have very big things to move because I've ordered them strategically to get delivered to the new
Yes.
place. So, like a bed, a headboard, fridge, things like that. None of that has to be moved by me. It's all just being delivered straight.
Okay.
So I'm like, also with like appliances and stuff,
Yeah.
I don't like moving them myself because if something breaks, especially fridges, whatever,
Yeah, and also
then it's on me. Like there's some like macro take a lot, whatever you guys delivered. If something's wrong, it was that you.
Yeah,
You know.
also especially with the fridge, I'm a big fan of fridges getting delivered in their boxes because they are big things. They have to go through a door. A lot of times they're that metal or something.
Oh yeah.
You push them through a door, it catches something, it scratches. Once again, the
And
end
like
of
no disrespect, but no one cares for your stuff the way you
no,
do.
nobody
They
does.
just want to make it happen and get out of there.
I
So
know.
I'm just like, no, and people had sent me links like, oh, this one's selling their fridge that they've only had for 2 years, whatever. And I was like, Oaks, I'm buying my fridge new out of the box with a warranty. I'm not dealing with this. I must buy it secondhand from someone, then a year later
Yeah.
it breaks. I can't call anyone. I can't do anything. That's on my pocket. I've lost.
Yes.
So I was like, to me, appliances need to just be.
Yeah, most things. So like what I did when we moved from our previous place to the new house, I sold all the appliances at the house,
There we go.
and the house we bought. Obviously, I had somehow found out. Well, somehow because I talk a lot. Me and the owner got talking, and I found out that all the appliances in his house were brand new.
Oh, so you just took it over
Yeah,
with.
so they were like 4 months old. So
Oh,
I
perfect.
then, and he was moving to Cape Town, so he was having to get like a massive truck to move all the stuff, and he had also quite a lot of money. So I knew he'd probably be like, "No, what if I can get some money for my stuff? I'll just buy new shit when I get down the bottom there."
I would do the same.
And I just bought all, like I bought the washing machines, the dishwasher,
Perfect.
the tumble dryer. I was like, we even tried to buy his dining room suite, all that sort of stuff. Okay, that he wanted, but you know, like I was like, right, what
Yeah,
can you
because
leave?
like I agree, I'm a pay for convenience type of person. You do pay that little bit extra for convenience. That's just.
It is. It's funny because like Mr. D, you sure do pay for the convenience because I obviously in the past I've always been like quite blasé, like I just order Mr. D, so on and so forth. And then obviously when I started dating Nicola, and she's like quite money savvy, so she's going,
How much?
That, and then I'm going, I never thought about it. Like I'll give you an example. We ordered something from Nando's, and at Nando's it's 70 rand, but on Mr. D it's 90 rand.
It's a huge difference.
So it's 20 rand on top of the actual product.
Yeah.
And then
and do that a couple of times a month.
Yeah, and so not only are you paying 20 rand more per item,
And then you pay the delivery
and the service fee.
Mm.
So there's like this whole, at the end of the day, you end up paying roughly because obviously I also
almost double.
Yeah, I also tip the drivers. I've got a rule: 20%.
I also tip them
because I always go like 20%. 9 out of 10 times works out to about 40 rand, and I just go like, is 40 rand really that much?
Is it really going to hurt you?
And then I'm like, and for that person, it's a better than what they probably normally get. So the long and the short of it is, so then taking that into consideration and the service fee and the extra on top, and if you look at it, like
it is a lot
because it's like crazy. Because like Nicola will go and get Nando's, and the bill will be like 180 rand. I ordered it on Mr. Delivery, and it's
280 rand.
Yeah, it's like 250 or 260 rand, and I'm like, Jesus, we ordered the same stuff the other night with you, and it was just so much.
I must say, I also had a month where I was like, enough with this Uber Eats and Mr. Delivery and all that stuff. I like completely booted it away. I maybe do it once every 2 months, and that's if I'm like super hungover.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, it really won't kill us. We live in such a busy space.
Yes.
It really won't kill us to just go down the road and fetch it.
Okay, so the thing that I will say is I will still pay for the convenience because I hate sitting in a drive-through.
So no, what I'll do is I'll call the restaurants. So I don't really do fast food to be honest, but like I'll call the restaurants and be like, please can I order this, whatever, and then I'll go in 20 minutes and just pick it
Yes,
up
yes, yes, yes.
and then go. Or like we'll take turns of like whose turn is it to pick up the food or whatever. And it's honestly really helps.
No, no, that I like. I agree. I don't do the fast food so much anymore. I used to. I used to live on the stuff.
Not to say that I don't like it, that I'm above it. I flip and love it, but it just wrecks my body.
Yeah. Also, the thing is,
Because like I do love me a Burger King.
so, no, I love all the fast food. KFC,
Same,
McDonald's, Burger
same.
King. The problem being is, oh, this is what I found. When I stopped drinking, I stopped eating fast food.
Oh yeah, I believe that. And now
Because
that I've taken such a decline with drinking, I can't remember actually when last I touched them.
and I just think it's because when you're generally hungover, you feel like greasy, unhealthy food. Because
But
like
it also just goes down so well. Like you hung over and you're smashing a KFC and you're like, ah, this is heaven.
I used to sit there and wait for 9 o'clock to roll around because Mr. D
Oh yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
D does not deliver before 9 o'clock in the morning.
I've had moments as well where I've woken up early. I just want a burger or something to make myself feel like it's 8:30. You're like, fuck.
And the other thing that I find that happens when you drink is you overindulge. So, like, I'll give you an example. Like now, if I ever order, let's say fast food, like the other night I did McDonald's because I played paddle. Nicola was on the girls' night, and so I wasn't getting a meal anyway. So I was like, okay, let me get some McDonald's because like nowhere else is open.
Big Mac.
So that's exactly what I got. But then I just went Big Mac meal. Where when I'm hungover, I'll be like, okay, I'll get the Big Mac meal. I'll get a McFlurry. I'll also get some chicken nuggets. And I'll get one of those iced coffees type thing.
I must say, I have no self control at Burger King, sober or not. Like even if I haven't been drinking,
Okay.
right? Like because they have those little jalapeno cheese popper things.
Yeah.
But then they also have their onion rings, and their onion rings. It's such like shit food, right? But I absolutely love their onion rings, and then I do love a Whopper. So
Okay.
every time I go to Burger King, even if I'm not that hungry, I'll be like, can I have those three?
Okay.
Because I at least have to have with the Whopper. I at least have to have an onion ring or.
You see, I'm the same now with KFC, for instance. So KFC, I'll go even that I'm not drinking. I'll go, let's say, a box master meal.
What's in the box master?
Box master is a big, like, sort of wrap.
Oh, it's that wrap thing,
thing.
and it's got like a hash brown in it or something. Hey, okay.
Yes. I'm a big hash brown fan.
Okay, I'm like impartial to them.
Okay, so that, and then I'll go the Zinger wings. So then I'll get like 10 of those because four just whet your appetite, and then I'm
I know.
should go more.
I've always looked at them. I'm like, who the fuck has the self control to get 4 wings?
People on a very strict budget. They're like, I'd love to have 10, but we only got. But that's the scary part.
And that's the one thing about me, hey. If I'm low on budget, I won't even go there.
Is it?
Because I'm like, if I can't do it my way, I don't want to do it.
Okay. Well, at least you could. I know people, they're like, what are we getting for this money?
They're counting their coins.
Throw it on the table. What can I get for that? And then the lady at the counter says, how far will this get me? And the lady says,
Street Boss 1.
Take 2 steps back, buddy. That's how far that's getting me.
Get out.
Have you ever watched that movie Bubble Boy with Adam Sandler? I think it's Adam Sandler. So anyway, he goes to a bus stop and he's like, he wants to go somewhere, and he just throws his money on the counter to the guy, and he goes, how far will this get me with the money that he goes? And the guy goes, takes 2 steps back. That's
no way, buddy.
That's exactly how far that will get you.
That's funny.
So yeah, so no, with
so the box master,
the Zinger
10 wings.
Okay, and then I will get like the crusher, the Oreo crusher.
Oh god, yeah.
Because those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good.
I heard there's a Kit Kat one now as well.
There is, although I've not had it yet.
Yeah,
and
I need to
there's
have
now
that.
also, I think there's a Kit Kat McFlurry as well.
Oh, maybe it's that. I know one of them introduced a Kit Kat something.
Because I know the other day we got McFlurries, and then.
Oh, I also do love me a McFlurry.
That's the only thing I still get Mr. D's for. Like, just put the money on top. I don't care. I want to make. Yeah, like I'll always like Nicola generally cooks. And then I'll like.
You do love your sweet treats.
Yeah,
though.
then I sit there on the couch and I'm like, order the McFlurry. Then it comes, gets delivered. Then I'm like, there we go.
Have you ever considered like just buying a tub of ice cream and and Oreos and like crushing your Oreos in your own vanilla ice cream.
I've one up that idea. In the sense of that's exactly what. So the other day, because Nicola's also got a sweet tooth, so we.
Oh no.
Jeez, worse than me.
I will say, at least with
Worse.
myself and Adriano, he loves all the sweets,
Okay.
and I don't fight him for them. Like I couldn't care about sweets, like wine gum sweets.
Yeah.
He like will smash packets of that, like you, and I couldn't care less about that.
Okay, which in a way is good and bad. It's good because it means more for you, for me, type thing. But it's bad because it means I'm consuming all those calories.
Yeah. Look, I went for jaw surgery back in 2001. I don't touch things like that can destroy my jaw. So,
okay.
But also, I've never been someone who's really particularly been into sweets. So,
if I have to tell you, like wine gums, I just bought. Well, Nicola actually bought it yesterday. This massive pack, like a 500-gram pack of wine gums.
It would take me the whole year to eat that, and I promise you, I'm not over exaggerating. It would take me the whole year to eat that.
Now that would take.
How quick do you eat that?
If I was not stressed about the calories that I'm consuming.
Oh no, I don't even want to know this
because I'm stressed about the calories that I'm consuming, it would probably take me the day to finish them. So I'll eat majority of it in the morning, and I will polish the rest in the morning. And I'll polish the rest off this evening after dinner. If I did not, like, I mean, I go buy those tubs of gums.
The Woolies ones?
Yes. I can polish 2/3 of that tub from the garage to my house.
That's a fucking superpower.
Well, now that you should mention it, I eat extremely quickly. So, like,
are you one of those? What is it with men and inhaling their food?
I think I'd like to believe that it's like a very old way of like a survival instinct. Like you had to hunt, eat, and go. But no, I'll tell you where I think mine comes from. My time management's not always great, so I'm always in a rush because I'm always like I'm the type of person I don't like getting somewhere and waiting.
Yes.
I like I like to time my run so that it all happens at the same time.
I also like to do that.
Problem being is life happens and things sort of get in your way. So like now you got the timing right, and now the dogs don't want to go outside for a pee before you have to leave. Okay, now you're like, come get outside, and that takes time. Now you're behind.
Now it's made delays.
Now you're chasing your tail.
But regardless of that stuff, though, men generally just really inhale you guys inhale your food. It's ridiculous.
So that's where I'm getting at with that is that as a child I used to do the same.
Okay.
And then I'd have to eat. Like I'll give you an example. So I used to have to be at the bus stop to catch a bus to go to school. Now I would like literally arrive in the kitchen for breakfast with like 3 minutes to go before I have to be at the bus stop. I still got to run down the street. Like let's say.
So you're giving yourself like 50 seconds to eat your food.
So I used to have Prenutro. I just pour a ton of milk in it, make it like really sloppy, scoff it down, and then I grab my bag and I'm running.
No man.
And then also I don't know. And then also I used to play a lot of sports, so I come home late at night, so I'm eating cold food. So I don't sit down and eat. I literally stand at the kitchen counter and when you're standing and you're not comfortable, then you're like, well, there's no point in sitting here savoring. You're like, you're just like, okay, let's get it down so we can go bath or whatever the case may be. So that's because, like, I promise you, like, to give you an idea of how quick I eat, I go into McDonald's one day and I order obviously a Big Mac meal and whatever and McFlurry. And there's a couple sitting at the table over there, and I'm eating, and like I don't even know if I'd say to you maybe 2 minutes and everything was done. And I'm just watching the lady at that table. You can see like she's like, did you see?
Did you chew? You are like a golden retriever.
She's like, did you see how quickly he ate that food? And like literally,
oh my God.
And like everyone, like Nicola's also like, Jesus, I haven't even sat down and you're already done.
But I mean, I've also noticed it with Adriano. Like if we both eat a sandwich, I have like, firstly, my whole second slice is still
Yes.
left. I still have to, like, pick up the second slice, and I'm finishing the first slice, and his whole sandwich is gone. Gone. He's already ready to have a chat again. And I'm like, where the fuck did it go? Like, we actually had this chat the other day, right? So it was because I saw it on Instagram, and it was
Okay.
like this chick, right? She puts hers and her husband's food down or whatever, and then it shows that she's like about to start eating, and then he already puts like the knife and fork down. He's like, oh, that was good, and she's like, what the fuck? I just started. And then there was another video that we saw that the woman and her husband, and now what she's done is she says she's going to match how he eats.
Okay.
So they're both like eating but she hasn't told him. She's just
Okay.
left him to organically eat.
Okay.
And then she's like, she takes a bite, he takes a bite, and then he like shoves a million chips with his bite, and she's like trying. And then she's like still chewing in her mouth is full like this. He's already on like his third bite, and she's trying again. She's downing her drink, like, and she just cannot make it. She cannot match him. And he's like finished, and she's like sitting there like, like when did he take an A?
I think I've actually seen that exact video.
That's
Because
you.
when you told me about when she's trying to shove the chips in.
Yes, he like got like 5 chips in with his big bites of his burger, and I was like, don't you guys do one or the other? Like,
You see, I am so. Once again, they say this is a trait of a psychopath. Is that I will first eat the chips, then I'll eat the burger.
I also am a
I
chips.
don't mix. Like I don't eat burger, chips.
I also am a chips, but because when chips go cold, it's nasty. But when your burger goes slightly cold, it's still fine.
That is exactly my train of thought.
Yeah.
That is why I eat like that.
Yeah.
But I read somewhere that psychopaths will finish one part of their meal and then move on to the next.
Oh.
So
Well, do you do it with any other food? Because I do know someone who eats his food completely separate. Eats the meat, then eats the. We'll go back for the salad. We'll go back, and I'm like, what the fuck? Put it all on your plate.
You see, so I just find that I generally do eat like that. So I'll give you an example. I always like now I'm trying to eat veg. So
well done.
Okay, so I'll always start with the veg because it's my least favorite, and I'm like,
oh yeah, get it out the way.
Get it out the way. Then I'll move on to, let's say, for instance, the chips.
Leave the best for last.
That's it. That's what
I do eat like that as well.
So then, like steak, like for instance, the steak or the chicken schnitzel, I'll have that last.
Okay, wait. So if you ate like a steak with, do you eat cream spinach and butternut, whatever? No. Okay, so let's say you ate it with mash. Do you eat mash?
Yeah, I'll do.
Okay, would you like put a bit of mash on your fork and then have the steak with it together?
Yes,
okay, so that's fine. You're not a psycho then.
Yeah, no.
Because
only with my fast food.
I completely agree with that because I always know I only eat half my burger. Wherever I go, I know I eat half my burger. Okay. So as soon as I've gotten my burger, I cut it in half.
Okay.
And I leave one aside. And I know that I'm going to eat the chips or whatever it is first and the other half of my burger. And by then I'm going to be full. So I always know I pack that second half. And these days I don't eat it. Adriano does whenever we get home.
We'll get to that.
Yeah. So now I'm like, I don't even get my leftovers anymore, but whatever. So that's how I would eat the food. So for fast food, that makes a lot of sense to me. The other thing we were having such a chuckle about is that not only do men eat so quick, I don't know if you have this as well, but men like to mix their drink and their food. And the way he was explaining this to me, because he is so passionate about his food, hey? But I think it's because he's so active that he eats a lot.
Yes.
And he was like, it's just the best. He's like, I take a lot of food in my mouth and then I have a sip of my Coke and it all just mixes. And I'm like, why? Why do you guys do this? And I think that's what washes your guys' food down so quick.
Probably, although I won't say that I would necessarily mix the two, but I would like, for instance, chow a bite of a burger, and then as soon as it's down, I will wash it. I'll wash it down because you get a bit thirsty doing all that fast food eating. But then there was something else you mentioned now that I wanted to jump onto.
The leftovers.
The leftovers and stuff. I've now noticed that like for instance, Nicola eats so little, and
so you're the vacuum.
Yeah, and I've become the garbage disposal.
Yeah.
So like for instance, I'll say to her, I'm gonna start a business that sells half of meals, half a pizza, half a burger.
Do you know how much I love that? If you go to there is a restaurant it's called Verbito. They do half portion and full portion.
Okay.
And then it's always so nice. I'm like, okay, I'll take a full if I do know that I want something for like lunch the next day or whatever. But if it's just, then I'll just take a half portion knowing that that's all I want to eat that day.
Yes, because I'm like, firstly, you never eat all of it. Like same thing, 2 sandwiches or 2 slices of a sandwich, just eats the one, and then doesn't eat it. And the thing is, once again, no problem if you're going to eat it later.
Mm.
But that's another thing I find with you ladies. You don't tend to eat your takeaways.
No, it kind of just sits there.
Yeah, and so like a lot of times I'm going, give the takeaway to the car guard or someone, because okay, if it's something I'll eat, then don't worry, I'll polish it. But if it's like something I don't eat, then I'm like, just give it
I think
away.
I'm gonna have to learn that now.
Just give it
Also
away.
living alone.
Yes.
So like naturally, okay, I live with my sister and her husband and her little one. So
Yes.
I would always bring my leftovers home because
Yes.
I'd be like, oh, you know what? Someone in the house will
have
munch
it,
it. Yeah.
yes.
And 10 to 1, it does happen that someone will be like, oh, let me try what you had or whatever, and the leftovers will end up being eaten. But now I'm gonna have to learn not to do that because I'm gonna be bringing it home and then I'm just gonna waste it. But now I do have Adriano and he is
helps.
a vacuum cleaner
It helps, yeah.
with food.
No,
It's ridiculous.
So that's the thing. So then, like, I just know that they take away, and then here's the other thing. So then the takeaway is now in my house. Then I'm like, I hate throwing shit away.
I also don't like wasting food.
So then I'm like, maybe I must just give this to the guard at the gate or something. But then I'm like, don't do it. She never eats her takeaways the next day. But trust my luck.
One time you give it to that
I'll give it away, and she'll be like, where's my leftover pizza from last night? And I'm like, I gave it to Andrew because I thought you weren't going to have it. And she'll be like, I was going to eat that.
Best believe.
So a lot of times I don't do it because I'm like, okay, you know, like I don't want to, because I don't want to risk it.
It will happen that one time you do it.
Yeah,
it will definitely happen.
So, but a lot of times I'm like, so as I said, so like I've noticed that I tend to eat all the leftovers, but also she tends to share. So like, she buys me an energy bar and herself an energy bar. I'll eat my energy bar. She will eat the energy bar and still feed me half of her energy bar. Yeah. And then I'm like, so technically I'm having like 1.5 energy bars and you're having half an energy bar. Yeah. And then you wonder why I'm the one gaining all the weight.
I'm like, should we get something to share or like whatever when it comes to food? Firstly, I cannot do the share thing anymore.
Okay.
Because he eats like a baby dinosaur. So there won't be, like, we need 2 meals, right? And then I'm like, okay, let's get a meal where it's like, I want to try yours and you want to try mine. The other day I get like this burger, right? And he gets a pizza and we're like, okay, cool, we'll like, you know, share it because I want to try a bit of his pizza. I have like 2 bites of his pizza. And he's like scoffed it, right? But he does offer. It's not that he's not offering. I'm just like, no, I'm like kind of into my burger right now. So I'm like, do you want to have a bite of my burger and see the most massive bite you've ever seen in your life? And I was like, huh? And he was like, I just took a bite. I was like, that was huge. And then like with the second piece, I was getting full. So I said to him, do you want a bite again? And then I said a little bite, take a normal bite. And then he was like, okay, fine. I was like, fucking hell.
You see, I sort of also understand the big bite thing. So I'm of the same, like Nicola also, yes, you take big bites. And I'm like, that's how my brain...
You guys get the enjoyment of having like your...
It's like, I'm like, I don't just want to have like a little bit touching my tongue here and there and here. And I want the whole mouthful so that my tongue is like having this overload. It's like everywhere. It's touching everywhere. So that's why I also tend to take the bigger bites because I'm just like, I want that. Like every bite, I must taste everything in one go.
Oh, no, I'm the opposite. Like, I'm like, would you rather eat your chocolate mousse with a tablespoon and have it, you know, quickly, or would you rather have it with a teaspoon and savor it? And I'm that person that'll eat it with a teaspoon and take like a little bit by little bit, you know, because I want to savor it.
No, me too. Only thing is I'll probably shove it back. Like I'm like literally putting in a teaspoon like every...
I can imagine you with a bowl of chocolate mousse. I'm sure like 3 bites down it will be done.
Well, one day I'm sure you'll notice.
You'll eat in front of me.
Then you'll see. But yeah, I'm like...
But this definitely is a male thing as well, because I mean, there's just too many memes and videos and everything about it everywhere, and just in general, men.
I think it is majority men, but obviously you do get a lot of men.
No, you obviously
that eat very slowly.
You do, and you do get women who eat quick as well.
I've got a lot of friends that are like, well, I'm just really fast, or they are just
slow.
Because I'm like, I promise you, like the 2 guys I'm gonna go braai with today, they don't eat really quickly. Oh. So it's like, you know, like at a restaurant, I'll be like, almost like, okay, I'm gonna have a nap while you guys finish up, because guys, listen, This is half an hour. I'm already ready for
I get
dessert.
so amazed when I see how some people can eat. So Adriana being one of them. The other person is my boss,
Okay.
who is also very into his MMA and jits and was also an extremely fit person. When we went to London for work, I was in awe when I saw how much this man can eat. And he's not a large man.
Nah.
Like we went to a restaurant and he ordered a full steak. It was like a 300-gram steak with veggies and some chips or whatever. And then he scoffed it down and all of us were still eating. And me and another two people were still going to have dessert. So he asked all of us, he's like, okay, so we're still going to be here for like the next however long. We're like, yeah, we're still here. We're still having dessert. Da, 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 da. Goes to the waiter and says, can I have the exact same meal again? Scoffed down another steak, chips, and veg. I was like, I couldn't believe my eyes. And then anything we were doing, obviously, we were together for 6 days, every morning, afternoon, and night. Everything we did, wherever we went, the man wanted to try things, eat it. He has to eat, breakfast straight away, things like that. He was just constantly chowing. And I'm like looking at him, I'm like, where is it going? Like he ate so much. And Adrian is the same. If he can eat 10 times in a day, he will. He definitely will.
So now I have two friends, and they're like best friends. That is Adriana and your boss combined.
Oh God.
So well, like the two of them. So they but take Adriana and your boss, and they're best friends.
Okay.
So for instance, because what I'm hearing about Adriano, he reminds me so much of another friend of mine called Eddie.
Okay.
So one day, hopefully, I'll get to introduce you to Eddie, and we'll see. Because, like, just from the minute you started talking about Adriano a couple of weeks ago,
you did
I was like, he sounds just like Eddie. And then now his friend Daniel, also really good, well-built guy, my height, whatever. But geez, can that man eat?
Is he also fit?
He is.
I think obviously that's it, because these oaks are so fit, their body is constantly trying to replenish.
Because I promise you, we'll go to a restaurant and he'll order 2 meals. So he'll be like, I'll have the steak. So like, I want a pizza and I want a pasta. And you'll polish both of it, and then you'll get home and you'll be like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw a couple of fish fingers in the air fryer.
I
and he's
don't
like,
understand.
And then he's like, okay, should we get some Haagen-Dazs? And then yeah, so like you can chow.
It's absolutely wild. I went to even go visit Adriano's parents, and I'd never eaten so much. Like we had
Italian,
pasta, yeah, they're Italian, and so it started with like a whole bunch of like little snacks and salamis and pickled stuff and whatever, all wonderful. And then it was pasta, and then after the pasta it was more like cheeses and salamis and all of that put out, and then literally like half an hour after that, his dad goes, so should I put the pizza in the oven now? And I'm like, what?
I thought you're gonna bring dessert.
I was like, never. I could not. There's no way I could have put it. And eventually, he was like, "Dad, stop! Like it's too much." But I was like, they would have all smashed the pizza afterwards. None of them are big.
Okay.
None of them are big people. None of them are fat people.
Okay, so here's another question I'm gonna ask you, because I want to see if there's a trend. So obviously they're Italian. His parents, are they South African?
Purebred Italian, and he speaks it as well.
Okay, so did they grow up in Italy and come here?
I think his dad did, and I think his mom grew up here.
Okay, but his mother's also Italian. She didn't just marry into.
No. She's also Italian.
Okay, so I've got a friend as well, and so there is sort of a trend to the extent that Italians are fairly, like in my head, are fairly new immigrants to the country, in the sense of it doesn't go back like that they're Italian, but they've been here for 4 generations.
No,
it's generally either the grandparents or the parents are from Italy.
First and second generations usually already from there. Yeah,
from there. So because same with my friend Dino, his family, like his parents, are from Italy, and hence the fact. The reason I'm asking that is because I sometimes feel like that tradition or sort of waters down a little bit through time.
Definitely does. Yeah.
So the fact that they still eat salami and all these things tell me it's still very much stuff that they used to do when they were younger.
I very much agree with that. Naturally, also coming from foreign parents as well. Half of my siblings born in Serbia as well. So we are like my parents were first gen in
Yes,
in
in
this
this
country,
country.
yeah. And so we were raised very Serbian.
Okay.
Like we were raised on Serbian food, raised on the language.
An example of Serbian food.
So they tend to eat a lot of pork.
Okay.
Pork is a big thing there. Lots of stewy foods though, because it
Okay.
does snow and stuff there. So a lot
Hearty
of like
meals.
hearty meals, yeah. So one of like the most common I would say is something called sarma,
Mm-hmm.
which is mince and rice, and then it's wrapped in cabbage
Okay.
and put in a slow cooker for like the whole day, so it goes like soft, like falls apart.
Okay.
And I love eating it, but my taste buds have also grown up on it. But what I noticed about Serbians is that we are not as starch driven as the Italians.
Okay.
See, I think with them,
Pizza,
from when they're
pasta.
small, they are used to consuming a lot of wheat. They eat a lot of pizzas, pastas, those ciabatta breads, things like that. Their body is very used to that.
Yes, yes, yes.
I, on the other hand, or my family, we weren't brought up on a lot of starch like that. So I can't process wheat like he can. Honestly, I can't. So I think that's also why, because you would look at them and be like, how does one consume so much pizza and pasta and stay thin? But it's also what they've been doing their whole lives. Their digestive system has
It's
been
fast
working
track.
this forever. Yeah. So I think that's also the difference there. But what you're saying about it being filtered 100%, like if you already look at him and you look at me, we are both born here.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, um, your kids might not eat that. What's
If
it?
we had kids, they would definitely have the taste buds of here.
Yes, and but also, how likely are you to make that? What's that meal you just mentioned?
So we like so not everyday food. Actually, you're
Yeah.
right. So now my everyday food is not Serbian food
Yes.
because okay, we also have like technology, Pinterest, TikTok, so we're always trying different foods. But like, yeah, you're right.
And then, so for instance, one day when you have your own family, you probably, well, okay, I know you're not
If
necessarily going
let's
to
say
have but
hypothetically, yeah,
hypothetically, you have your own kids, they're going to probably be eating steak and mash and trinchadu and that sort of stuff that's sort of like known to this country,
100%.
chicken schnitzel, that sort of stuff. And then occasionally you'll probably make a Serbian dish.
Yes.
But then again, their kids will probably
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's like a few factors that come into play, right?
Yeah.
So it's firstly, having grown up in the other country, have you managed to go back to your country? That's also one thing, And then the other thing is, who are you marrying? Because let's say it's the hypothetical, right? But let's say I'm with Adriano now and I have kids with him. He's Italian, I'm Serbian. So we wouldn't eat Serbian food every night anyway, because surely you would mix in a little bit of the Italian, right?
Yes.
So it would be already that mixture would start, right? And then add in the fact that we live in South Africa and the cuisine here is just absolutely everything. So,
and also Italian is a more prominent.
Italian is more prominent
than
so
the Serbian.
No, you wouldn't be sitting eating Serbian food all the time. Whereas when I was growing up, I grew up in both my parents, purebred Serbians, didn't know this country, only knew how to like cook and speak according to what they came from. So only now have they, well, not now, but like in the last 10 years, have they branched out into other things or whatever.
And not just a lot of times, I also think that they would also still do a lot of Serbian food because you want some home comforts.
Yes.
When you're in a foreign country, you want things. It's like when I lived in the UK, we like braai. Why? Because it's not a thing in England so much, but we miss that of South Africa.
Yeah,
so we brought
100%.
So when your parents obviously originally came over, they were
That's
like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to eat or make do with what we have. But you know what? I still feel like that meal because that's what we would have quite regularly back home, and then that just sort of like triggers this thing of like, I feel like I'm home.
It's the nostalgia.
I feel like I'm home, 100%. Even though I'm not home. I'm doing things that remind me of home, and that sort of makes me.
The other thing is like
ease.
You really do either take on things from your foreign parents or go the other way. Like in my household, boerewors wasn't a thing. My parents don't like it to this day, and like I think so. My two sisters are older than me, so they're in mid-30s. Okay, the one is a lot like me. She's 20, but like none of us consume boerewors. None of us. Like if I go to Bra, like how people. Boerewors rolls, whatever, we've spoken about it. I don't touch it. I don't touch boerewors. But like for instance with Adriano, he grew up a little bit differently, and even though he grew up with foreign parents, he was always with I think, a different crowd of mates. He grew up around a lot of Afrikaans people, whatever. So he even speaks Afrikaans fluently, whatever.
Okay,
So
that's cool.
he's hundreds with that. Whereas we were very bubbled in the beginning of our lives. We weren't exposed to a lot of South Africans.
Okay.
For a long time, it was literally just
Don't talk to these
us with-
dodgy eggs.
not like that, but I think my parents were too maybe not as extroverted to get out and go meet people straight away.
But also, I
things
think
like
it's extremely difficult if you don't really speak the language very well.
100%, yeah.
You know, because I think you tend to be like a little bit more. It's like me when I'm learning Spanish,
Yeah.
or even Zulu when I go. Like I want to practice it, but I also don't want to sound stupid. If you know what I'm saying. So like your
100%.
parents are like, we'd like to make friends, but we also don't want to go somewhere and we're not good at English. So we don't really want to speak it and then sound stupid, which I once again I've realized.
It depends like what the age is. You know, I think his parents came here when they were teens.
Yes.
So already made friends in high school or varsity or whatever, and they moved on. My parents moved here very much when they were in their 20s.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to speak the language, already had their kids, you know, things like that. Didn't have those communities to make those friends with. So they ended up finding other Serbian people. And up until I was like 7, to be honest, I remember only being around Serbian people.
Which is also cool because you keep your heritage alive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I'd grown up with more Greek people because then I might know how to speak Greek.
But you're definitely right. It filters through. If I look at my sister who's 20 and us, such chalk and cheese lives, because by the time my parents had her, they had established lives, established South African friends. She went to a South African school straight away, things like that. And she wasn't so exposed to the Serbian the way we were. And so she is definitely less Serbian than us. You can see it.
Okay.
You can see it, you can hear it, everything. So it falls away.
100%. It's like with everything in life, like I always say, the longer stuff goes, the more watered down it becomes. Like many years ago, my parents were young. Parents were extremely strict, and you know, like you would never talk back. Kids were seen and not heard. That's and then obviously, and then when I grew up, it was a mixture of kids are seen and not heard, but also we are listening to you a little bit more.
Yes,
and
it was way less harsh.
And then, as I said, now with my younger brother, it's more case of your opinions like of more matter. I don't want to say
valid.
That because I got to watch her because my mother said to me, "I make her sound like a tyrant on the podcast." So
sorry, Bob.
So yeah, so it's a case of when I say like my younger brother, I don't want to say his opinion mattered more, but like it was more socially acceptable for him to voice his opinion.
Yes.
Like when I was younger, it was still a thing of like we're the adults, you're the child, you do as we say. Where with him, like, and that's why I say, like, for instance, also in the podcast I said the kid. I wasn't just talking about my brother. I was talking about my sister. I'm just saying like that's why I said the kid because it wasn't just one instance where I just felt like the rules were for me were relaxed with my siblings, and now I've lost my train of thought.
It definitely was like that though. It's like you said, it's the water.
It waters down.
It waters down for sure. Not to make my mom sound like a tyrant or anything, but it was like that when I was younger, and especially with my sisters. That was it. Firstly, I knew that my mother could give me a backhand at any time.
100%.
Anytime you knew that it could come. In fact, I'm 31 and I'm pretty sure my mom will still backhand me. 100%.
If the conditions
if she watches it, she'll be like, damn right. Like, so yeah, 100%. I know, like, and that's how we grew up. Like, you couldn't backchat. You couldn't, anything like that was looked at as attitude and as you being disrespectful. You just learned how to shut up and take things in. But fast forwarding and going to like last week, how we were talking about Charlie Kirk and things like that.
Yeah.
That's where this issue is coming in because there's so much entitled nature because parents aren't shutting it down. You know, with parents, yes, it was a little bit difficult, but we also learned that lesson of sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just don't get your way. That's life. You don't get to now throw your tantrums and this and that.
Like that's how I also used to view it. Life's not fair. You're a child. One day the roles will be reversed. You'll be the adult, and then you can call the shots.
100%.
But for now, you don't call the shots.
I know, I do that with my niece all the time. And she'll say, why? I say, because I said so.
Yeah.
And then she'll be like, that's not an answer. I was like, well, actually, I'm an adult and it is an answer.
Exactly. It is now. So, but no, that's exactly the case. As I said, like even I look at things like the army, military service. Okay, I never went to the army. Although I do think I would have enjoyed it, I think there would have been parts of it that I wouldn't enjoy because I don't believe it was Harry's happy holiday camp.
Definitely not.
But like when I listen to people that have gone to the army, the camaraderie and that sort of stuff, and then eventually like my dad is still mates with a lot of guys that he was in the army with, more than people that he was at school with and things like that.
Yeah, so, look, when my dad and uncle talk about the army as well, okay, my uncle had a little different situation because then eventually Serbia went to war. So, but like my dad always says, yes, it was hectic and it was a lot of discipline and it was hard and da-da-da-da, but he also has a million cool stories from it, like good stories and whatever. So I definitely do think if we could send some of the Gen Zs back to the army.
That's what I'm sort of getting at. I do believe that military service should become compulsory again because there needs to be something where people learn discipline and how to deal with authority
and emotions.
Because in the army, there's no fucking union or this or that or where you got to say they fuck you up and nobody's coming to help.
They need it, honestly.
And I do believe that that's why us as a society have lost so much control over kids is because there is no real. Yeah, sure, there's still parents out there that discipline the kids and the kids are well behaved and. Trust me, I still believe you could have disciplined kids and happy kids.
You don't have to beat a decent amount.
You don't have to beat the crap out of them.
No.
But there's got to be discipline and there's got to be consequences and rules and regulations.
So I think for me, morphing into that subject a little bit, I think firstly it depends, do you have a male or a female? I think it also depends personality types, whatever, so with my sister's child, someone had once said to her, I don't know if it was a psychologist or I don't know semantics who it was, but someone had once said to her, you need to speak your child's currency. You need to discipline with their currency. So for instance, growing up, my sister was someone who could take a beating, but she was an adrenaline junkie. She didn't care. She'll take her beating tomorrow, and the next day she'll be back on her bullshit because she didn't fear the consequence. But take something away from her that she valued, she would then conform for a little bit, Whereas I was the opposite. I didn't want to get a hiding. I liked to conform, things like that. And I liked family time. Like I was someone like that and I loved sleep. So if you had taken something away from me, I'd be like, oh, I could probably do without it for a week. That's not my currency.
Yes.
So you have to speak your child's currency, firstly. The other thing is with men, sometimes, which I mean, whoever wants to come at me for it, but sometimes I do think that with men, the one thing they do still fear is the violence. Like that's just what I've noticed. In Serbia, for instance, the cops can hit you. Like that's how it is. You must respect authority. My dad would tell me how when he was a teenager, cops used to beat them with a wet newspaper because it didn't leave a mark on your skin, but it fucking hurt.
Okay.
And so they feared the authority, and if they got, he said there were times even where he would get beat by the cop, and they would put him in front of his doorstep and tell his dad, "We fucking beat your son because he's doing this and this and this," and his dad would be like, "Hell yeah, get inside. That's what you need.
Give me that newspaper. Yeah. Round two's coming."
And so they built up that fear of, okay, guys, hold on, but this one's going to catch us and he's going to take us to dad's doorstep, And so I feel like, yes, I'm not saying go beat your children, but for the first 18 years of their life, they are not your friend. They need to fear you somehow so that they can learn in life that there are fears and consequences and things like that.
100%.
You are not your child's mate.
Yeah, 100%. And so it's funny you obviously sort of stumbled across this, but like I know from slight memories when I was younger that I believe how it used to work. Like if you used to steal or whatever in this country, you'd go to the police station and they'd shambuck you. Okay. Now, once again, we've grown into the society where any sort of corporal punishment is seen as bad and you shouldn't resolve things with violence and all of this like real politically correct bullshit is the reason we have more serial killers, more like shit happening everywhere. Because yes, back in the day, maybe it was a bit more barbaric, if you want to call it that, the corporal punishment. But hell, we had society under control a little bit more. Now, like I think to myself,
Now we
like,
got people who are fucking wolves.
yeah, and the thing that also, like, I'm just looking just in general, like the stuff that I told you I saw in that video this morning. Kids murdering, they want to murder their parents and this, and shit's out of control. And I feel it's because they're not getting blixened enough.
No.
And
they're not fearing authority.
Exactly. And now, for instance, I just look at it and I go, some people want the death penalty back and all that sort of stuff. I'm going, you just start bludgeoning people a little bit more with a shambak. We won't need the death penalty because death, you dead, you don't know the consequence. Yeah, sure, I'm sure
It is the easy way out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also like, you need to be beaten a little bit every single day. Feel it.
And but we're getting bludgeoned and knowing that if you do what you're doing, it'll happen again. You'll actually be like, I can still feel
I have a little
those
bit
shots.
here. Yeah,
I still
yeah.
feel those shots. And do I fancy getting that again if I get caught?
Mm.
And that's why I say, like, maybe therein lies a side that I think people need to.
Definitely.
We need to get back to more discipline.
There has to be. It has to be something to that, because if you look at the countries who have more of like, who have less crime and things like that, there are consequences. There are real consequences for these things.
Like in the Middle East.
Yeah, but if you look at, like South Africa, I mean, this place is like, people are fucking loose cannons here. Honestly, you can do whatever you want here.
Yeah.
You can pay your way out of absolutely anything in this country.
There's no consequences.
There's no consequences whatsoever.
That's why we don't stop at red traffic lights. We just do what we want. We drive in the yellow lane. We park where we want, whether it's a disabled parking or not.
Have you ever actually been stopped at a roadblock and ever been scared of the fact that a policeman is?
No, for a couple of reasons. Because I'm Mr. Goody Two Shoe, I haven't got any outstanding traffic fines, so I'm always like,
me too.
I'm like, you ain't gonna have shit on me. And if there is one, it's recent, and I'll sort it out. But yeah, no, there is no fear, because you're like, I can just give them some money and they'll let me go. Well, not just that. That's exactly what they do. Like, I've now been pulled over in 2 roadblocks. Okay, I didn't have my driver's license, because in both occasions, and it shows you how the world works, both occasions I was driving Nicola's car. So we were going out somewhere, and then obviously whenever we go out somewhere, I drive, whether it's her car or my car. I generally prefer to drive in my car, but that day she was like, take my car, it needs a long drive, because she's not doing a lot of driving these days. So she's like, we
go open it up a bit.
Yeah, let's just get the battery charged. So, and then I get stopped. Now they're like, where's your driver's license? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not in my car. My driver's license is in my car. So, if I need to get a fine, then I need to get a fine, because.
And that's what I do. I'm like, give me the fine.
And then the guy's like, yeah, but we can, like,
what are we gonna do?
Yeah, what can we do? And then I'm like, you know what we can do? You can give me that fine. I said, look, I did the crime. I must do the time. And then 9 out of 10, they'll just be like, oh yeah, go. Because firstly, they don't want the hassle. Do the paperwork. They don't want to do the paperwork. Secondly, they were actually just out for one thing. Because literally what had happened, how I got stopped.
They were out there to pocket the money.
Yeah. So how I actually got stopped was, we were going to go Tempin bowling in Greenstone. And I wanted to cross over, but there was cars coming on the inside lane. So I had to wait and wait and wait, but obviously you can't stop on the highway, so you continue traveling. And then by the time I had to go over, once the cars had passed, it was already a solid white line. Okay, still quite a distance from the actual off-ramp, but nonetheless. And then he just saw me, he was like, hey, pull over. And then he was like, what's happening, buddy? How come you went over the line? I said, listen, because I wanted to come over, but there were cars in my like blind spot area, and there was nothing I could do. I had to wait for them to pass. I couldn't just pull in front of them so that I make the spattered lines or whatever it is.
Yeah, it is the double one.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was like, so to do that. So I said, it's either cause an accident trying to obey the law, or have to let the accident pass and then break the law. So once again, as I said, do the crime, do the time. But yeah, they're just looking. Yeah, they're just looking for it.
So I have a little bit of a tactic.
Okay.
And I've used it for like 10 years of my life now. But every time I see the cops like that and I don't have the thing I need, I always pull over in front of them. like I always go, so I pull the car over and I get out my car. And then I say to him, sorry, I just had to stop here, but I'm just kind of lost. Can you explain to me about, I know where the fuck I'm going. Can you blah, blah, blah. And then they say, yeah, and then they help me explain whatever. And then I get back in my car and they even make the person wait. And then they say, wait. And they let my car in and they don't ask me a question. I don't have a license on me. I don't have what. I know I'm going to fuck up. And if they stop me, there's something going on here. So I always stop. I literally did it the other day with my mom. I'm like, okay, cool.
This is what we're going to do. Sit tight.
And then they say, why are you going over the line? And then I run out. I say, sorry, I parked you on purpose. And because they're the cops, they're supposed to help you.
Yes.
And then they explain everything. They say, oh, okay, good luck. Put me back in my car. And then I go.
Okay, well, that's...
and it has worked. Now, I don't know if it also works because I'm a female, but it has worked on female cops as well.
Okay. I've only got one problem with that. For instance,
you're rushing.
No. If I'm doing it, I might get stuck there talking for ages. I'll be like, so I watch rugby this weekend, Pirates, and get caught up in soccer.
No, man, Lucian.
Because unfortunately, sometimes that's what happens. Like I find that, and I always say it to people, I'm like football shirts are like conversational starters.
The conversation.
I promise you, I'll be walking in a shopping center. Next minute, me and some other guy, whether he's a Liverpool supporter, I'm a Man United supporter, we got some banter going.
It did actually happen to me the other day. I was wearing a Fulham shirt.
Oh, okay,
yeah. And like that's not common to see here. And someone still stopped me and they were like, Fulham. And I was like, yeah. Then I explained like the backstory to them. They were like, oh, okay.
But you see, you got to the backstory. So you got quite far into that conversation.
Yeah.
So that's what I say.
I just know when it comes to the cops, I stop it there. I have a tactic that I'm doing here. I'm not.
And it's worked.
It's worked. I promise you. 10 out of 10 times. I'm not even going to say 9 out of 10. It's worked every single time.
And I also find like sort of a tactic that I have is if you just admit the guilt and be like, give me the fine.
Oh, yeah.
Then 9 out of 10.
I've also done that when they're like, oh, what are we going to do? I'm like, there's nothing to do. Give me the fine. And but I'm like, just give me the fine. Like,
even if it's not a cop looking for a bribe, if you pull out, like if you get pulled over and you're like, yeah, but there was a car there, and why aren't you getting? Then they're like, okay, they're like, okay, you're gonna get a fine. But if you're like, you know what, I did go over the line, I fucked up, my bad, sort me out. Whatever.
My uncle also has that ability of just like talking so much that I think they just get so overwhelmed. Firstly, he has like a Russian accent, and then so we get stopped the one day, and the guy's like, where were you going? Blah blah blah. But now, like very innocently, he did not realize that he didn't take his whole wallet. It actually fucked us over for where we were going because at the time I was like a teenager. No, I was like in varsity. I didn't have money.
Okay.
And I was like, we need your money.
Okay.
So the guy stops him and he's like confident. He's like, hey, just open my cubby all there, like my wallet's there, whatever. And then it wasn't. He goes, oh fuck, I left it on the dining room table. So now, anyways, we're in the middle of time, but we are a little bit lost. We don't have the wallet, whatever. And he starts saying to the guy, he's like, I'm trying to get there. And then I went there and I just looked at my cubby on. I don't have my license. And he's like spiraling out with his accent. And the guy was like, cho, just go. Just go. I think he got so overwhelmed that he was like, please just fucking go.
I also find if you blame your wife for something, it helps. Especially with male cops. They're like, yeah, I feel your pain, buddy. I'm like, yes. I'm like, you know what? My wallet was here. But my wife, you know how these women are, they just take your wallet, they go shopping, they do this. And he's like, I'm going to kill you when I get home. So give me that fine and I'm going to make her pay it. And they're like, nah, don't worry, buddy. I feel your pain. There you go.
So
you got a tough life already with this woman.
Everyone has their tactics.
Maybe that's another thing we should. Tactics, everyday life hacks.
Oh, yes, let's do that.
Life hacks that you found. Like whether it be washing, put that down. Like whether it's like a washing hack or because especially if it comes to cleaning and washing, I'm going to be an encyclopedia of knowledge. Bring
it on. I have to learn.
Because when it comes to cleaning, I'm like always like, you know how to do this? You know how to get like these little, like when you pull a sticker off of a CD case or something and it's got that glue there?
Yes.
Do you know how to get rid of that?
No.
2 things, Mr. Min or Doom. Spray it on there and it just wipes off with the cloth.
Interesting.
But yeah, things like that. So we should do one about that. Cause
definitely. I could do with some life hacks.
Yeah, so not just that, you could give us a few like how to get out of a fine. You just jump out the car. And I also think, for instance, as I say, so we should do that. That sounds like a plan.
But it's funny what like everyone has their own little thing, right?
Yeah.
Like I think I discovered that simply just one day actually having to stop over for something and then I was like, people didn't ask me shit. And then because you ask them, you're interrupting them from potentially stopping people who are doing things wrong,
Yeah.
meanwhile you are.
So thank you. You can pay me back later for that one.
Yeah,
Yeah. You didn't get stopped because I had them occupied.
100%.
Which way, Douglas Green?
Which I won as well then, because I never have to give. Because I must be honest, my license has been expired forever. Not to mention that the license that's expired, I even forget to just put in my car at least to have.
Yeah.
So every time I get stopped, I don't have a license.
I don't know what's worse, to have an expired license and give that to them, or just not have a license.
I think definitely to have an expired one.
Yeah.
Because I think they still enjoy seeing some form of identification rather than nothing.
Okay. Where like you see on the other side, I'm going, maybe they'd be like, okay, it's common for people not to have their license.
To forget a license.
To forget a license where they go. You just
and in the first
you're just not getting your license.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
In the first 5 months, I was like, I would just act and be like, oh my gosh, what? It's expired?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
No man,
play dumb.
Isn't it 2028?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, geez,
and then there has been like I've been stopped twice where the guy said to me, why haven't you renewed your license? And I'm like, listen, I'm getting my permanent residency in this country. Then I'm going to renew it. So if I renew my license now, then as soon as I get my PR, then I have to renew it again. I'm not doing it twice, so it must be expired till I get it.
Okay.
And then they say, oh, okay.
All right. No need to go off.
Or the other times, I just quickly say, I'm just going to stop and ask for directions. And
then you sort it.
Then I'm sorted.
Now,
and I even get treatment then.
How long has your license been expired?
2 years.
Sure. Okay.
No
judgment.
Only because this country is so flawed. Because when I applied for my permanent residency, they said it was going to take 6 months.
Yeah.
So then my license was like 3 months expired. And I was like, oh, you know what? Because then literally I would have had to go renew it, pay everything. And then they said, oh, once you get your PR, you have to come back and redo it. So
Is there a reason you'd have to redo it?
Yeah, because if you're non-resident, you don't have an ID number. They have like a generated number there for you.
Okay.
So then once you become the resident, you need to go and then convert it to an ID.
Okay, so one day I would like you to show me your current driver's license.
I'll show it to you.
So that I can just see what your generated ID looks like. Yes, I'll show it to
you so you can see it. So they know it's a foreign.
But does it still like use some of your date of birth like a normal ID?
No, it's actually referred to in this country as a traffic register number.
Okay.
So you get a traffic register document, and this is the document you use instead of an ID to put a car on your name, to get a license, all of these things.
Okay.
So you have to then convert it. And they were the ones who told me it would take 6 months. And it took them fucking 3 years to get me the residency.
Okay.
So then every single time, you call them, oh, it should be a month, it should be 2 months, it should be a month, it should be 2 months. So every time you're not renewing, thinking that it's coming. So eventually I was like, well, and then sometimes I even say to them, well, it's your government, it's your country, not mine. Yeah. Then they even reply, they're like, yeah, they don't know what they're doing. Yeah. So I'm like,
no. As I said, no judgment. I just wondered because I'm just going, yes, I don't know. There might
I've never let it get that bad.
No. I'm just going, like I wonder if there's going to be like more fines on top of that for the.
Had I known it was going to take the 2 years, I would have by all means renewed it properly.
Trust me, you don't have to even tell me you're preaching to the choir. Obviously, with me and my ex being a foreign citizen.
Yes.
No,
you understand.
I know exactly how it is. You always think next week, and 2 years down the line, it's still next week.
Literally. It was a very frustrating time for me. They told me it would take me 6 months, and then it took me 3 years to get that document.
Yeah.
Delayed a lot in my life, but whatever.
Yeah.
Let's not get there.
So, and as I said, it is 10 years running.
Exactly.
So that's like, also it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But so.
But anyways.
On that bombshell, we didn't get to our topic of discussion for this week. We did
not.
But we will try again next week. At least that's one good thing about the way we do things.
Yeah. And we did talk about everyday shit.
We literally did. So now we got new ones to think of. Life hacks for our following one.
New exciting stuff coming. Yes.
Well, keep it classy.
See ya. Till next time.
Cheers.